I feel like the tenor and the mood of practice is a little bit different when you guys are in the middle of a slump as opposed to winning every game.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's more of a sense of urgency, a lot of more energy, a lot of more competing in practice, and everybody competing, trying to get after it.
Do you think this team needs that right now, given what's happened in the last few games and then trying to get out of that?
Most definitely. I felt like we got a little bit too comfortable being up 6-0. Practice was a little light those days. So, getting after it and getting back to the roots of hard work, we really needed it this week.
I know you guys had some travel issues getting to El Paso and kind of got in 7 hours later. Do you think that affected you guys, especially second half, maybe a little more careless with the ball, maybe a little fatigued?
I feel like a little sluggish, but I wouldn't use that as a big excuse. We had a lot of little things we should have did right in the game towards the end that affected us in that loss.
I think you took 10 shots. Do you feel like you need to be taking more shots given how efficient you've been, and do you think you kind of need to be in kind of the 15 to 20 range and being more aggressive and putting more shots up every game?
No, I don't think so. I think just however the flow of the game is going, just depends. If I need to take 6 for us to win, I'll take 6. It just depends on how the flow of the game and how the rhythm of the game is and how I'm shooting the ball.
Do you feel like teams are keying on you more than they were the first few games, and obviously they can see what you've done the last few games, whereas the first 3 games they kind of look at last year and you weren't scoring as much?
Most definitely. They've taken me out more harder, but I just take it as a challenge. Like Coach Kent says, it's an honor to be taken out. So I just try to go out there and try to do my best to win the game for our team.
Is that kind of a fun challenge to try to figure out how to score when teams know you can score and doubling you or keying on you, putting their best defender on you?
Yeah, it's fun, but earlier when they started, it got a little frustrating. But now trying to figure it out, it's like a puzzle. You gotta try to figure out to score and get your teammates involved still, and at the end of the day, win the game.
I think you're 4th in the Pac-12 in three-point percentage, and I think you're at 50 and actually dipped to 48, which is still a great percentage. What's kind of the target for you, and where would you be happy with it at the end of the season?
I really don't care where I stand in the pack. I just feel like to shoot what I think my ability is, and I think I should shoot about 50% from the three-point line, and shoot about 55 from the field. So it's not a competition to keep up with nobody in the Pac-12, but definitely know how I can shoot and my ability. So,
yeah. Have you been able to shoot that consistently from the three-point line before, or was it really kind of due to the transformation you had in the offseason and improving that part of your game?
I believe I was able to shoot like this before, but now just being more conditioned, having more legs in games to get the ball up and stuff, it's definitely helped. But previously, I feel like my ability to shoot has been this good.
So you feel like kind of trimming down and cutting the weight has actually helped with three-point shots too?
Yeah. Going into games more when you're more fatigued and you're still hitting them, it definitely helps.
How many shots do you put up kind of during the off season per day? Do you try to hit a certain number every day, or do you have any kind of shooting games that you use?
When I went back home, I probably shot about I want to say 300 to 400 shots a day while running hills and conditioning, just so I can get my legs fatigued and heavy while shooting threes or shooting mid-range.
Is that 300, 400 mid-range, three-pointers, kind of everything, or just three-point shots?
My all-around game. So from post-ups to mid-range to threes, all 3 levels.
Do you shoot to make a certain amount and kind of once you make a certain amount you leave, or is it just putting up 300 to 400 a day?
Making about 300 to 400 a day.
And then I guess how many hours do you think that would kind of consume per day?
I did 2 a day, so I would probably say about 4 to 5 hours total.
So would you kind of work out on your own condition and then go into the gym later on in the day, and I guess would it be an early morning workout, a late night kind of shooting session, or what did your days look like?
I had a early morning shooting workout. I would condition before my second workout, and then I'll shoot some more, and then probably just get on the gun and just shoot a ton of shots.
And you're running hills, and then what other kind of cardio stuff were you doing?
I was running hills, running 17s, ran miles on the treadmill, on the track, different things like that.
I think you'd mentioned before that you had a trainer back home that you were working with. Who was the trainer, and is it someone you've been working with for a while now?
Yeah, his name is Paul Cannon. He was, when I was at Evergreen High School, he was the JV coach. So we've been close ever since my sophomore year in high school.
Is it nice to kind of have him? I'm sure he probably brings something different to the table, and kind of you have two different perspectives from your coaches here, and he's probably teaching you something else back home.
It's definitely a different perspective, but at the same time, I give him feedback on what the coaches want me to do and what is expected out of me in the future.
With the length and height that you bring, do you feel it's almost kind of easier to shoot with the length, and maybe you don't feel the defense as much because people can kind of guard your length and get hands up on you?
Most definitely. I think my length is a great key advantage to me shooting over guys and more difficult shots.
You're kind of the prototypical inside-out NBA player, or someone can work inside and shoot outside. You're seeing more of those players now. Is there a certain kind of pro player you try to model your game after, or a number of different guys you kind of look at and try to kind of focus on?
I'm a big fan of Draymond Green. I don't necessarily model my game after him, but he's an undersized forward in the NBA, so I definitely look at him and see how he got there, but I really don't model my game after anybody.
Yeah. What do you guys know about IUPUI?
As of right now, I know they have a good big, a couple good guards. They're experienced. We're going to watch film on them tomorrow to get more in depth on them.
I think they're coming off of 3 or 4 consecutive losses. Obviously, this isn't an easy trip for them. This is a really good chance for you guys to capitalize and kind of win a game emphatically and head into that Kansas State game with some momentum and get out of that slump.
Most definitely. This is a big key game for us. And that we need to get out of this 3-game losing streak, get back on the winning track, and then go play a good Kansas State team in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.